campers. Got some new Rebel today. Nothing makes me happier than new Rebel. This is the small batch reserve. It's 110 proof offering. Man, defiantly smooth wheated bourbon. Rebel small batch reserve, hand-picked master distiller John Rimpe. Yada yada, blah blah. 110 proof, blah blah. Bourbon champion, defiant with every sip. Huh. This one's been double labeled. I wonder what they're trying to hide. Man, I have not had a bad pour of Rebel yet. Even the lower end, the Rebel 100, and I had an older bottle of Rebel Yell 80 proof that still wasn't a bad pour. This guy was only $29. I picked it up at Gomer's in Lenexa. I got excited when I saw it. Small batch reserve, and it's Rebel, and it's 110 proof, and it was $29. So, yeah, it was a good day. Not even my birthday. We're going to sniff and sip this bad boy. See what this fucker's got to offer. Well, it's a fairly typical Rebel nose. Little candy sweetness, a lot of corn, a lot of alcohol. It's just a sweet corn bourbon. It's yeah, that's a good nose. I mean, it's what I'm looking for because it's Rebel. I'm gonna take a little sip, see what she's got to offer. Well, that's a little different. That is a little different than what I'm used to from a Rebel, to be honest with you. Now you've got some grain, grain forward, of course, signature Rebel, MGP, Lux Row. But there's also a little earthy note, and the finish has a little barrel impact, which makes me wonder if maybe this small batch was done in smaller barrels. Of course, there's no age statement on here, but that's a ride. That's not the normal Rebel corn whiskey sweet go to bed. It's got some interesting things going on. That I'm just not used to with a Rebel. I know this is a wheater, but there's a little bit of a leather note towards the end too, with the barrel impact, that I've never gotten off a Rebel, and I've had a few. You've watched me have a few, and I've had a few more. That's interesting. That's the most unique pour of Rebel I've ever had. That is not just unique, but there's just a whole lot going on with that I didn't expect. $29, highly recommend that. That's really good. That's really good. Man, I put it up against those store picks that I was so proud of because that's a really, really interesting pour. I like that. The other thing that I picked up today, I've recently gotten an appreciation for a brand called Switchgrass out of St. Louis, Missouri. I had their Bald and Bond. It had a little. I thought it was a Ritz cracker, but upon another pour, it's more like a buttery club cracker towards the end. It's just very unique, and I really like that. I like it I like it because it's from St. Louis. I like it because they distill, age, and bottle their own spirits, which source is fine. Sourced is fine if it's done right. Of course, but that's kind of what everybody's looking for right now, is do it yourself. This, on the other hand, is a little different. This is actually an 84 proof apple brandy. Now, I'm okay with a brandy once in a while. A brandy with a cigar. That sounds nice. Actually, if I have a nice pour of brandy, a decent cigar, and something naked to throw some dollars at, that's a really good day. My birthday. But never had apple brandy. And I've definitely never had Switchgrass's apple brandy. Man, they are just a unique outfit. I'm going to keep diving off into that rabbit hole. But I'm going to try this offering because I like apples. Who don't like fucking apples? Apples are great. It's supposed to be good for you. Let's nose this dirty bastard. Wow. That smells exactly like moonshine. That smells like the stuff my buddy Lude Mosier used to cook off. He used to cook off homemade wine and make this stuff he called holy water. It smells very similar to that, with a little apple thing lingering. But it's, man, it's, I don't have any other description other than it smells like shine. Whew. This may be really bad for me. Or really good. That's interesting. There's no viscosity whatsoever. It's like drinking wine. It's that kind of thin. But there's a little apple tint surrounding that just white dog moonshine flavor. It's kind of interesting. I don't know that I want this neat. In fact, I'm sure I don't. I think this might be a case where over ice it would be better. You're never going to hear me say that about bourbon. I will never put my bourbon over ice. I want it raw. I want it naked. My way may not be the right way. It may not be the way for you, but it's the way I want it. I'm not saying there is any wrong way to drink bourbon. Just get it in you somehow. Just get it inside you. But this, to me, might be a little bit better over the rocks. In fact, I don't know, making like a whiskey sour out of it, maybe, or maybe a little club soda. I'll bet. Hear me out here. A little simple syrup and a little bitters with that apple. That might be a very interesting old fashioned. Stay tuned. More to come. We're going to make some shit out of this because that has some potential. It's not going to be a neat pour. It's not going to be something I sit on a porch with, but it's going to be something I mix some stuff, especially probably for the holidays. Maybe a little warm apple brandy and a cinnamon stick. I don't know. It's one more try. Yeah, tastes like moonshine. Man, That's weird. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just not sure what to do with it. If you got some ideas, throw it in the comments. And hey, while we're talking about it, why don't you tongue punch that like button in the fart box and subscribe. So, anyway, without further ado, I will bid you adieu and say thanks for playing.